All right, I'm going to try to keep this one short. But the main topic of this video is why, if you're wondering why you were born into toxic family dynamics, it was literally to awaken your spiritual gifts. Yeah, it was to awaken your spiritual gifts. Because if you are not set in a challenging environment, everything's going to be easy. You're not going to have to, you're not going to even want to improve yourself, because everything's easy. Like, I don't have to improve anything. I'm just here and things are okay. I'm not saying that. I mean, some people might think that, oh, it's so unfair. I was born into such an abusive and toxic relationship or familial dynamic that I didn't ask for, but you actually did. Your soul actually asked for that. hmm Yeah, because if you weren't, what is that quote where they say, like, diamond is born under extreme pressure, or like, I don't know, there's another one about, like, friction is needed in order to, I don't know, yeah, like become who you are. You know what I mean? You need like friction, like to like create, or like, I want to say, remove all the layers of crud till you get to like the gold. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know if that made sense, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so like if you're born into a toxic dynamic, I mean, think about it. I feel like a lot of people who are born in toxic dynamics, especially if you're the scapegoat or the black sheep in the family, yeah, we encountered a lot of like painful, uncomfortable situations. But I think from that, we decided to like start, sharpening our, I want to say, our skills. Like, people who are empaths usually came from like a really abusive background. People who are people pleasers probably came from an abusive background. I feel like people pleasing is just like a necessary like stage that you have to move through until you realize you don't have to people please anymore, and then you stop centering everyone else and you start centering yourself. You stop letting people dictate your reality, then you start dictating your own reality. But you needed to go through all these different steps to kind of like go through all these different lessons and to expose all these different layers of the self before you could really like know who you are and step back into your power, call your power back. In one of my videos, I can't remember which one, I said, I came across somebody said something that really, really resonated. Something about before we came to Earth, we wanted to know what it felt like to give our power away. Like, so before we came to Earth, we were probably very aligned with the Most High and the divinity, our own divinity. And we were like, oh, I want to go to Earth. I want to see what it feels like to give away my power. To be abused, to be like scapegoated. And then I also want to learn how to reawaken to my power. And I don't know, that kind of like rang true for me. We probably was like, I don't know. I saw like a lot of people who are world weary. Like, you're probably, when you go to the higher dimensions, there probably isn't nearly as much trouble or hard work or dis-ease, so you get bored. Just like, oh, this is so boring. I like all knowing, all seeing, everything's perfect. There's no chaos, there's no calamity, there's absolute peace. And I want to go to Earth and I want to feel like what it feels like to be immersed in the exact opposite thing. Think about it, man. Yeah, and honestly, don't take anything too seriously. I don't. Just laugh at everything. It's pretty funny. Yeah, everything's pretty nonsensical. It's just everybody's trying to make things so serious. Why are you trying to make things so serious? Everything falls apart and falls together. There's lessons, there's layers, there's certain degrees, there's angles that we're all exploring in order to rediscover our soul so that we can fulfill our soul purpose. You know what I mean? Anyways, I don't know. Yeah, if this video made sense, cool. If it didn't, that's cool too. Tomato, tomato. Yeah, blessings. Have the best day ever. And if you're not having the best day, that's okay too. It's all clouds passing through the sky. Anyways, see you later, alligators. Yeah.